Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the RNGIDP channel. We've got a fun game tonight. I'm looking forward to this one. The start of game day 14. Yes, we made it through game day 13, and if you weren't with us yesterday, or you didn't look at it on the channel earlier, we had a game day 13 recap. And that was pretty fun. I enjoyed doing that, bringing you a different look to the channel, going over all the things that happened in game day 13 and going over what's happened up to this point in the standings. We had a good time. We talked for about 45 minutes last night and just went through some of the stats, took a look at the dominating Pittsburgh Rattata squad, who sit first in the KL at 10-2, and that's where we're going to jump in tonight in the KL. We're going to go through their games in game day 14 first, and then we'll move to the AL. I like to do them all at once just because I am separating the leagues by one is playing DH, one is not playing, and one is playing with the pitchers hitting. KL is with pitchers, AL has the DH. And so I don't know, in my own head, it's kind of hard to go back and forth from the strategies of the KL to the strategies of the AL. So I just play all the KL games first, and then I'll play all the AL games first or second. So we are here, the start of game day 14. It will be Arizona at 7-5 and sitting in 5th place in the KL against Chicago, who are 7-6 and in 7th. So this is a game of teams looking to make their move and jump up in the standings. Arizona are 3 games back of the leaders. Pittsburgh, Chicago are 3.5 games back. So who will make their move? Who will fall even closer to 500 and closer to the bottom of the standings? Well, we'll see here tonight. We've got a pitching matchup of 2 Boston Red Sox carded pitchers. They are Henry Owens against Rick Porcello. Henry Owens will be on the mound first, pitching for Chicago, the home Chicago Cubs team. Henry Owens comes into this game with, let me look at his stats. He's pitched in 11 2/3 innings. He's got a 1-1 record for the lefty. 12 hits in those almost 12 innings. He's given up 7 earned runs and 7 strikeouts. He's walked 4 batters. And that is a 5.43 ERA for Henry Owens. This is how the Arizona Arbok will line up against Henry Owens, the lefty, tonight. They've got a lefty leading off in Gregor Blanco. He's in left field. Gregor Blanco is hitting .231, 12 of 52. He's got 4 doubles, a triple, no home runs for Gregor Blanco. He's got 2 RBIs, 8 strikeouts, and a couple walks. Paul Goldschmidt will hit second in the lineup, and I've thought about moving him down to a power spot, maybe third or fourth, but because the rest of the lineup isn't all that power heavy. But that A steal rating makes me want to just leave him in that two hole. And Paul Goldschmidt is hitting .222 with a double, a triple, and a couple of home runs. 7 driven in for him. 14 strikeouts, though. He's got 2 stolen bases as well. Brian Dozier is in the 3 spot, the second baseman. He's hitting .184, and you can see why Arizona struggles at times. Their lineup hasn't been hitting all that well. He's 9 for 49, a double, 3 homers, 6 driven in. Logan Forsythe is the cleanup hitter, if you want to call him that. Logan Forsythe is 5 for 24. His part-time duty for him. I think he was hurt earlier, too. He's got no power numbers, really. He's only got 1 double and only 1 driven in. Jorge Soler is the right fielder. Jorge Soler is 8 for 22 in his 22 tries up to bat. A couple of doubles, no triples, no homers, only 1 driven in for him as well. Tyler Flowers had a big game his last time out, and I believe that we streamed that one. Yeah, I think we did. Tyler Flowers is 244 on the year, a couple of doubles, and 4 homers. And I can't remember exactly, but I think he had a couple of homers last time, or a walk-off. I'm not sure. Sam Fold is hitting .189. Sam Fold is the center fielder, and he's hitting 7th today. He's got a triple, a double, and a homer. He's got the cycle for the year so far, but not in one game. He's got 8 driven in, though, and I believe that's tied for the team lead. Cliff Pennington is the shortstop. He's hitting $150, triple and a homer for him. And the pitcher will be Rick Porcello. He's a weak power hitting right-handed bat, and he'll be using the number 1 card. So that'll get us started. I'll give you the defense real quickly for Chicago, and then we'll get going here. Chicago, I'll give you their stats when they come up to bat. But they've got Leonis Martin in center field. Right field is Rosario. Left field is Reimold. Along the infield, you got Mauer at first. You've got Harrison at second. Seager at shortstop. Jake Lamb at third. The battery of Brian McCann and Henry Owens. So here we go. Gregor Blanco will lead off the game against Henry Owens, and we are ready for a little baseball on this Friday night. I'm happy you're here. It was a long day at work, but I'm happy to be here, happy to be playing some baseball, and hopefully you enjoy it and come and check it out as well. So the lefty against the lefty, it's a 1-6, and that one's a grounder back to Henry Owens, who handles his pitcher's defensive duties pretty well. And he's able to pick it up and make a nice throw over to first. And that's the first out. Paul Goldschmidt now. Paul Goldschmidt, the righty. And this one's a hit to the second baseman, which is Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison. And for those of you that know soccer, I always think that Josh Harrison looks like Josie Altidore. Josh Harrison is a 3-range second baseman. We rolled a 16. So Harrison gets down and dirty already for the second play of the game. He's able to make a play and a throw. And there's 2 down. Brian Dozier now with 2 down, nobody on. Henry Owens working quickly here. It's a 3-6. 3-6. Brian Dozier hits it hard, but straight up into the air. This one's to the second baseman, Harrison. He's underneath it and makes the grab. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Owens. So we move to the bottom half of the first inning. Chicago. The Chicago Cub Chew, sitting at 7-6, will face Rick Porcello. Rick Porcello of Arizona pitched pretty well so far this season. He's pitched in 12 2/3 innings. He's got a 1-1 record, 8 hits, 3 earned runs in those 12 2/3. He's got 8 strikeouts, a couple of walks. That's a 2.14 ERA and a 0.79 WHIP. So he's not working with really many people on base. Chicago will try and get people on with this lineup. Chicago is without Yasiel Puig, their everyday right fielder, so they're having to make do a little bit, and they will line up this way against the righty Porcello. Left-handed Leonis Martin will lead off, and he's in center field. Leonis Martin is hitting .255, a double, a triple, a homer, 2 driven in, and he's got 7 stolen bases. So when he gets on base, you know he's looking to run. Josh Harrison is the second baseman, as we saw in the top half. He's hitting right-handed, and he is hitting .268, 3 doubles, which leads the team, 3 homers as well for the diminutive second baseman, and 9 driven in, which leads the team. So he's been hitting well to start the season. Corey Seager, the lefty shortstop, he's in the third spot, .282 for him, 4 homers, which leads the Cub Chew team, and 8 driven in. Brian McCann, the catcher, hitting cleanup. He's only hitting .163 right now. He's got a couple of bombs, but only 4 RBI. The lefty, Eddie Rosario, is filling in for Yasiel Puig in right field. He's hitting 5th. Eddie Rosario's got a .256 batting average, only a 1 homer for him. Joe Mauer, another lefty. He's playing at first base and hitting 6th. Joe Mauer is .255 right now, 3 homers, 7 driven in. This is a very balanced Chicago offense. Not one person has stood out as being the one power hitter. They all have between 2 and 4 homers in this lineup. Jake Lamb will be hitting in the 7th spot, and he's the third baseman. Jake Lamb is 7 for 29. He was injured earlier in the season. Doesn't have a homer yet. Nolan Reimold will be the 8th hitter in left field today. Nolan Reimold, 10 for 33 in his appearances. He's got a couple of homers as well. And Henry Owens is a left-handed pitcher, and he bats left-handed. He's a weak power-hitting lefty, and he will be using the 1 card as well. So I believe we are ready. Rick Porcello has thrown his practice pitches. The catcher threw it on to second base and around the horn. And here we are, Leonys Martin against the righty Rick Porcello. It's a 6-6, a 6-6. Well, this could be trouble right off the bat. It's a ballpark home run chance. So Leonys Martin gets a hold of this one. How far will it fly? A 1-8, it's a homer, and that's a 3, so a leadoff home run to dead center. Leonys Martin greets Porcello with a shot to center, and he doesn't need to steal any bases this time. He just trots around him, and Chicago are off to a quick 1-0 start. So Josh Harrison high fives Leonys Martin and steps into the batter's box against Porcello. It's a 3-6, a 3-6. This one's hit pretty hard out to left field. Blanco is on his horse, and he makes the grab, and that's the first out of the inning. So Harrison gave it a ride, but Blanco was able to chase it down, and Porcello not missing any bats right now. Kyle Seager, the shortstop, lefty, against Porcello. It's a 6-9, and, well, he missed that bat. That's a strikeout. So the first strikeout and the second out of the inning for Rick Porcello. And maybe he's starting to figure things out here. Well, he's got a big, powerful lefty up in Brian McCann now. Already saw Martin go deep off of him. And what can McCann do? McCann swings and a miss, and that is a strikeout. So Porcello gives up a leadoff homer, but that's all. And Chicago takes a 1-0 lead here early in game day 14, just getting started. This is game 1 of 14 games here in game day 14. I'm happy to be bringing it to you. And Logan Forsythe steps in against Henry Owens. Logan Forsythe struggling at the plate and continues to struggle. He strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Henry Owens. And now he's got the big righty, Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler, he strikes out Jorge Soler. That's back-to-back strikeouts, and it looks like on that swing, Soler might have injured himself. The trainers are out to look at him, and, oh yeah, he's waving him in. He's coming off. Jorge Soler will be injured, and quick word from the medical staff says he'll be out for a couple of games. So Soler gets injured. And we'll have to look for a new right fielder for Arizona. So Soler strained a rib or pulled a rib or a rib cage muscle. And we need a new right fielder. So here are options. We could play Kadire. We could play Robinson, or maybe if we move somebody else, we could play Coco Crisp. We could move Sam Fold to right field and put Coco Crisp in there. And no, I think we're going to just go with Michael Kadire. I think we'll go with Michael Kadire. So, let's put him on the card here. Michael Kadire will take over for Soler. in right field. And now there's 2 down now, and Tyler Flowers is the man at bat. Had a brief injury timeout, and Soler is now off the field. And Tyler Flowers is the man at bat. It's a 5-5. A 5-5. Flowers continues to be hot. This one is hit pretty well. Will it be enough to get out of here? A 1-6 is a home run, and it's a... oh, he's weak against left-handed pitchers. So that's going to be a single. He hits it all the way to the wall, but Flowers isn't very fast, so he's going to have to stay at first with a single. That would have been gone if it was against a righty. But Tyler Flowers is aboard with the 2-out single. And now Sam Fold, the center fielder, will be the man to try and bring him home. It's a 1-4. A 1-4 is a grounder out to the shortstop, Seager. Seager makes an easy routine play, tosses it over to first, and that will end the inning. So in the inning, Henry Owens strikes out a pair, and one of those had to come off injured, Jorge Soler. And we move to the bottom half, and Rick Porcello looking to continue his strong start after giving up the leadoff home run. And Eddie Rosario will be the man to face him. It's a 4-4 against the lefty. This one's out to center field. Sam Fold is a pretty good center fielder, and we'll check his card to see if he can get under it. Sam Fold is a 2-range center field, a 210. That's going to his E rating. He's an E8. We rolled a 5, an E8, and we rolled a 5. And Sam Fold he's fast. He's trusting his speed. He makes a dive, and he can't get there. And this one kicks off his glove, and it's rolling. It's rolling, and Eddie Rosario will end up at second on the error by Sam Fold. So a 2-base error on the center fielder. And the leadoff man is now at second. So nothing Porcello could do about that one. Just Sam Fold had a good read on it. He just made a dive and came up short on it. It kicked off his glove and out into left field. So Joe Mauer now, 6'10". This one's a grounder to the third baseman. This is Logan Forsythe. Logan Forsythe is a 3-range third baseman. 3-17. Forsythe comes up with it. Looks back Eddie Rosario to second. And he tosses it over to first. And that will be the first out. So Joe Mauer can advance the runner, hitting it to the left-hand side. And Forsythe makes the nice play. And Jake Lamb now. Jake Lamb with 1 out. It's a 4-10. A 4-10, and Jake Lamb is patient up there, and he draws a walk. That's the first walk issued of the day for either side. And now there's 2 aboard for Nolan Reimold. Nolan Reimold, the righty in left field today. 1-7, and Nolan Reimold takes a big cut, but gets nothing. And that's a strikeout. Third one of the day for Porcello, and there's the second out. Big out there with the pitcher coming up. Now can Henry Owens help himself? A hit here would drive in at least one. It's a 2, that's off the pitcher's card. A 2-6, I dropped that die. It was a 2-6, and Henry Owens takes a big cut, but can't get a hold of it. And that's a strikeout. So Rick Porcello battles back after a leadoff 2-base error. He bails out his center fielder, who was trying to make a play, but couldn't quite come up with it. But no harm done. Sam Fold gives Rick Porcello a thank you and on their way into the dugout. And now Henry Owens. Henry Owens is on the mound. Steve joining us here in the live stream. Higher Ground Game joining us also. Thank you guys for being here. Higher Ground Gaming leaving a comment last night on the video saying he enjoys the stats. And I do too, so I'm glad about that. This is Cliff Pennington, the shortstop, a switch hitter. It's a 5-7, and he draws a walk. So, Cliff Pennington aboard. Yep, we've got two Red Sox pitchers going head-to-head here. And we've got one of them up to bat here, Rick Porcello. Rick Porcello is a B bunter. The infield is in, expecting it, but he's going to do it anyway. You got Pennington at second, or at first, excuse me. And so that'll make Rick Porcello a D bunter. So a D9. Batter is safe. Leading runner is thrown out by catcher. So Porcello can't get the butt down. Hits it too hard. And the pitcher, Owens, fields it, tosses it to second. So Porcello is aboard on the fielder's choice. And Pennington is erased, heading to second. Ken Castro's here. All right, what's up, Ken Castro? We've got the lively chat here tonight. The D-backs picked up Henry Owens. I didn't know that. So he's in the National League West with my team, the Rockies. You know, I guess we'll get to see him. My Rockies picked up our old catcher today from the D-backs. We got Chris Iannetta back. So there's some inter-swapping there. And the former Rocky, Daniel Descalso, killed us in the playoffs. So playing for Arizona now. All right, Henry Owens to Gregor Blanco. Man on first, that's Porcello. The lefty Blanco is up. It's a 5-5. Gregor Blanco, if it's a normal, he's a home run, and that one is smacked, and it is gone. Gregor Blanco with his first homer of the year, and there was no doubt about that one. Not even a roll. Gregor Blanco smashes that one to center field. It's a two-run shot, and just like that, Arizona takes the lead back, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Paul Goldschmidt up to bat now with nobody on. One out here in the top of the third. This is a 4-7. This one's out to center field. The center fielder, Martin, is underneath it, and there's two down. Yeah, I like Chris Iannetta. You could probably say he's the best catcher we've ever had. He was on the 07 World Series team. He was the backup to Yorvit Torrealba back then. But then when we went to the playoffs in, I believe it was in 2010, he was the guy. It's a 4-9. A 4-9. This one's a fly ball out to left field this time, and that is Reimold out there, and that will end the inning. But not before Arizona strikes back. They pick up two here in the third, and we've got a ball game now. It's a 2-1 game, and Chicago coming up to bat. So Rick Porcello finds himself with a lead now. After the leadoff homer in the first, he shut it down pretty well. And this is a 6-12 to the leadoff man, Leonis Martin. And where did my D20 go? There it is. This is a shot down the first base line. Will Goldschmidt be able to handle it? It's a 3. Goldschmidt is he's a pretty good fielder. And where did his card go? I think I put his card in the wrong spot. I did. Wait. What am I doing here? Yeah, Goldschmidt is over here. Okay, I was confused there for a second. Okay, here we are. So Goldschmidt is a one-ranged first baseman, a 1-3, and that's going to be a good play. Goldschmidt gets down on the line, and Leonis Martin is out at first. Goldschmidt fields his position well, hit that one down the line, but Goldschmidt able to smother it and toss it over to Porcello for the first out. And now Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison is up to bat. It's a 3-4. This one gets inside and he hits him. Oh no. It hits him. and he could be injured. And Josh Harrison took that one up high, and he's going to have to come out of the ball game as well. So Josh Harrison took that one up high, precautionary to get him out of the ball game, and he's going to have to miss an extra game. So we've got 2 injuries in this game so far. Soler for Arizona, and now Josh Harrison, the second baseman, after getting hit by a pitch, he's going to have to come out. Another injury, and in this league with the short rosters, this is a test. So if we look at the bench, who can we replace Harrison with? Harrison's at second base. We've got Castro, who's the catcher. Jackson's an infielder. Urshela, so it looks like our 2 options are Urshela or Mike Olt, and both of those aren't carded for his second base. So unless we can find somebody else in here who is, nope, we're gonna have to play somebody out of position. Either Urshela or Olt will have to play out of position. We need to call somebody up from the minors. Yeah, I wish we had that. Let's see. Who's got the better bat? We're going to get Urshela. And Urshela will be the new second baseman. And let me write him down here. He will hit pinch run as well. He's going to pinch run and then take over at second base, which he is not carded for. All right, so he's on base with 1 out. Kyle Seager now at bat. Kyle Seager struck out his first time up, and it's a 5-7, and he strikes out this time as well. Porcello's got his number so far. That's the 5th strikeout for Porcello. 2 out now here in the bottom of the 3rd. Arizona just answered back with 2 runs in the top half. And Chicago, with Urshela aboard, scratch one home here. This is the big catcher, Brian McCann. It's a 6-5, and McCann gets a hold of this one. Will it be enough to get out of here? 1-18, it will be. Oh, no, just hits the top of the wall. Kicks off the big lumbering McCann. He's going to make it all the way to 3rd. A triple for Brian McCann. Urshela was off with the pitch, and he's able to score. Good thing there were 2 outs there, because he just took off as soon as it was hit. And Brian McCann with an unexpected triple, and he's got himself an RBI and ties up the ball game. Steve, I do have my own Strat card, and believe me, there have been times where we have, I think it's St. Louis, they only have 1 catcher right now because their backup is injured. So I've thought, well, what if Hank Conger on St. Louis gets injured? Would I put myself in the game? I don't know what I would do. I'm hoping that he doesn't get injured. So here we are with a 2-out triple from the catcher. Yeah, the catcher, Brian McCann, who is a 1-8 runner, is able to hit a triple. But it's 2 out now, and Eddie Rosario looking to bring him home. It's a 5-9, a 5-9. This one's hit down to the first baseman, Goldschmidt. No problem for him. He scoops it, tosses it over to Porcello, and this one is through 3, and we are tied 2-2. So Chicago answers right back, ties the score, and we move to the 4th. Henry Owens now. And get the shin guards ready. I'm ready. I was a catcher in my youth, and my knees are paying for it now. This is a 2-3 for Logan Forsythe, and he hits it over to second base. That's the new second baseman, Urshela. Wouldn't you know it? The first play goes to him, and he is able to make the play. Even though he's not carded for it, made the play. And Urshela borrowing Harrison's glove as he walks off the field and makes the play with it. It's a 5-10 to Michael Kadire, and this is a catcher X card. This is his first at-bat of the day, taking over for the injured Soler. The catcher is McCann, still huffing and puffing from having to run to 3rd on that last play. We'll see if it costs him an error here. He is a 2-range catcher, a 2-18. Well, he gets out of his crouch quickly, even though he's tired, and he chases that one down behind the home plate, and now there's 2 down. Tyler Flowers quickly into the box. 2 down here, quickly. Tyler Flowers with a single his last time up against the lefty. This is a strikeout. So Henry Owens making a nice comeback after giving up a 2-run bomb the last time out. And he strikes out Tyler Flowers. Owens' 3rd strikeout of the day. And that will end the top side of the 4th. No runs for Arizona. Chicago with the 6, 7, and 8 batters. Mauer, Lamb, and Reimold due up. All lefties. No, except for Reimold. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lefties in the starting lineup today against Rick Porcello. And here's one of them, Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer with a ground out to 3rd his last time up. This one has a chance for a single, hit over to 3rd base, and not going to be enough. That one is scooped up and thrown out by Logan Forsythe. So another ground out to 3rd, and Joe Mauer is now 0 for 2. Happy to have all you guys here. I'm seeing quite a few people on the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you're enjoying. Rick Porcello against Jake Lamb. Rick Porcello walked Jake Lamb his first time up. And this is a 3-6. A 3-6. He strikes him out this time, though. Rick Porcello's got the strikeout pitch working. That's 6 of them now here in the 4th. Nolan Reimold, the man at bat. 2 down here. Trying to get the lineup flipped over for the pitcher behind him. And it's a 5-5. This one's out to the shortstop. That's Cliff Pennington. Cliff Pennington is a 2-range shortstop. Pretty good. This one's a 2.9, though. That's going to go to his error rating. He's an E88, so he makes a dive for it. Picks it up. We rolled a 7. And he throws it away, but it hits off the camera bank and stays in the park. So Nolan Reimold with an error, or not Nolan Reimold, excuse me. That is Cliff Pennington with the error, and Nolan Reimold aboard on the E6. So Arizona playing some sloppy defense. Already committing 2 errors. One on the center fielder and one on Cliff Pennington. And that will flip the batting order over. Henry Owens here struck out his first time up. Oh, forgot to roll that one. It's a 2-9. A 2-9, that's not a good place to be. That one's dribbled down the first baseline. Paul Goldschmidt able to scoop it, and he's going to step on the bag himself. And that will be the end of the 4th. So Porcello and Owens are locked in a tie here, 2-2. Who will blink first? Will it be Henry Owens here in the top of the 5th? This is the inning of weakness. Henry Owens' pitcher inning of weakness is the 5th. So anything gets wild here, and from now on, he may be he's vulnerable. So this is a 4-6 to the lefty Sam Folds, who grounded out to short his last time up. But this is a single to lead off the inning. The 7-hole hitter is aboard. And Cliff Pennington looking to make up for that error here, batting in the 5th. This is the switch hitter, Cliff Pennington. It's a 5-6. It hits this one hard, but right to the third baseman, Lamb, who makes the play. Sam Folds didn't get far enough off the bag, and he makes it back easily. Rick Porcello now with 1 down. Rick Porcello swinging away here. It's a 3-8, and he swings and he misses, and there's a strikeout. Well, that's probably the best thing to happen for Porcello. You don't want to get grounded into a double play. You don't want to get hurt. Just swing and get out of there. Gregor Blanco now hit the big 2-run shot in the 3rd inning. And here we go. It's a 5-3. Oh, a 5-3. This one's hit well. Will it be enough to get out again? A 1-8, and it will be. Oh, not this time. Eyes on the warning track, but he thought he had it. He was already in his trot. But no, the winds in Chicago blow that one back. And that's a fly ball out to left field where Nolan Reimold makes the grab. So almost another one for Blanco, and he's starting to feel it. His power numbers weren't there to start the season. Hit his first home run in this game. And now maybe he's starting to break out. Rick Porcello for the top of the lineup now. Leonis Martin, who led off the game with a homer. Well, led off the top half. The bottom half with a homer. This is a 3-5. Not this time. He strikes out against Porcello. That's 7 strikeouts now for Porcello here in the bottom of the 5th. And the man Giovanni Urshela with his first at-bat of the game. It's a 1-5. A 1-5. He hits it pretty hard out to left field. Will it drop? Will it drop for a triple? No, the left fielder, Gregor Blanco, making a nice play and grabs that one before it can drop, and that would have rolled a long way. Urshela could have had a triple there. Kyle Seager now with 2 down against the man, Rick Porcello. It's a 4-6. 4-6. This one's hit to the second baseman. That's the first time we've seen not Dozier. I try to give him the French pronunciation. Brian Dozier. He's a 2-range second base. A 2-5. Dozier able to make the grab, throw it from one knee, and Dozier with a strong throw able to get Kyle Seager out at first. And we move to the 6th. Still tied up at 2. I guess we should have expected this. Both of these teams are one right above each other in the standings. Number 5 and number 7 in the standings. And I guess, being that close, we should have expected a close game here. I don't know that I expected Henry Owens to pitch so well, but here he is in the 6th against the righty Paul Goldschmidt, who's 0 for 2 on him today. And this is against the lefty, a 2-9. A 2-9, Paul Goldschmidt is aboard. That's a walk. So maybe Owens is getting a little tired, getting a little wild, and he puts Paul Goldschmidt aboard. And this is the first time we get a look at the catcher arm of Brian McCann, which is only a -1. Paul Goldschmidt is an A-base stealer. It's a 1-15. They are holding him, so it would be a 1-13. -1 is a 1-12. Brian Dozier. I keep wanting to call him Dozier. I don't know why. Brian Dozier. Paul Goldschmidt looking itchy, like he wants to run. And he's going to go for it. A 1-12, and he's safe, and he's just under the tag. Paul Goldschmidt steals second base. So now there's a man at second for Brian Dozier. It's a 5-7, and he strikes him out. Henry Owens isn't going out like that. The 5th strikeout for him. The first out of the 6th inning. And Logan Forsythe now looking to get Paul Goldschmidt from second into home. It's a 4-6. And Henry Owens nibbling a little too much, and he walks him. So now, 2 men aboard for Michael Kadire, the injury replacement for Jorge Soler. And Michael Kadire has a big chance to break this thing open. Can he do it against the lefty Henry Owens here? It's a 6-5. A 6-5, not this time. He strikes him out. So walk, strikeout here to open the 6th. And that's the 6th strikeout for Henry Owens. 2 downs now. 2 down. Tyler Flowers, who's been the man, he's been the man for Arizona for sure in the last few games. Can he break this thing open? 2 down here. Tyler Flowers against the lefty. It's a 3-7. Oh, he's got a one chance to get this one through the wickets of Henry Owens for a single. If not, Owens is going to grab it and pick it up and toss it to first, and he will do that. Owens fielding his position well. That's a 1-3 put out. And Tyler Flowers can't come up big this time, and that will be the end of the threat here in the top half of the 6th. Henry Owens pitching pretty well so far. Steve is still shocked. Steve is still shocked that Owens has a win on the season. I wonder who that's against. Probably Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati is 1 for 12. That's probably who his win is against. So Porcello now comes in at the bottom of the 6th. This is his pitcher inning of weakness. Anything goes awry here, and he will be a weak pitcher. So Porcello against McCann, who tripled an RBI triple his last time up. It's a 5-2. He hits this one well out to center field. That's no problem, though, out there for Fold. Fold is able to make the grab. And now we've got Eddie Rosario, the man at bat. He reached on a 2-base error in the 2nd, and he grounded out to the first baseman the last time up. This is a 2-4, and he's going to hit this one to the pitcher, Porcello, who makes a nice stabbing grab and tosses it over to Goldschmidt. And now there's 2 down. Joe Mauer. This inning is going by quickly. Joe Mauer looking to extend it. And it's a 3-2. This one's hit back to Porcello. Has a little trouble getting it out of his glove, but makes the play. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Porcello. He's getting stronger here. And we're through 6. And if you were surprised, like myself, that Henry Owens is pitching here in the 7th, raise your hand. I'll raise my hand. I didn't think he'd be here. But here he is, the lefty, against the bottom 7, 8, 9 in the order. Will he make it through 7? Here he goes. It's a 1-5. A 1-5 is a strikeout, and that's 7 strikeouts now for Owens. He's feeling it today. Cliff Pennington lined out to 3rd his last time up, also walked in his first time. And he's hitting right-handed against the lefty. This is to the shortstop. The shortstop is Kyle Seager. Kyle Seager is a 4-range shortstop. A 4-12. That's going to his error rating. It's a 5, so this one might be trouble. He's an E48. So a 5 is going to be an error. So Cliff Pennington is aboard on the error by Kyle Seager. So the first error for Chicago, and now you've got the pitcher, Rick Porcello. Will they pinch hit for him here with 1 out in the 7th, top of the 7th? Let's look at this bench again. Do they have somebody that they trust enough to pinch hit for Porcello? Or do they just let him bunt and keep him out there? No. I think they're gonna get the speedster Crisp to try and stay out of the double play. But that will be all for Rick Porcello. He's gonna be pinch hit for. And this is why I like playing these KL games, because we got the pitcher batting, and we have to make these kind of decisions. And Arizona's making one right now. They're going to go get Porcello, even though he's been pitching well, and they're going to bring out Coco Crisp. They're trying to jump on Henry Owens, and Coco Crisp will pinch hit here in the 7th. And they're getting the bullpen ready for the bottom half. So Coco Crisp with a man aboard at first. That's Cliff Pennington. He's a good runner. He's a 1-13 runner. He's not a stealer, though. He's only an E stealer. This is a 4-11. A 4-11 is a fly ball out to right field. Rosario's out there, and he makes the grab. And the pinch hitter, Coco Crisp, is out. And the man who went yard off Henry Owens, providing the only 2 runs against him, is up to bat with a man on first, and that is Gregor Blanco. 2 out here in the 7th. It's a 3-7. This one's hit to the second baseman. That's the second baseman, Urshela. He fields his position, and that will retire the top half. So they pinched hit for Porcello to try and scratch a run across. It didn't happen, and now all the question marks will be, was it the right choice? Can the bullpen hang on here? And let's go see who we can bring in for Arizona. So Arizona, their middle relievers, who's coming up to bat? They've got 7, 8, 9, 2 lefties. They've got 2 lefties, Torres and Jennings in the pen, but they're going to bring out Ryan Tepera. Ryan Tepera will be the man coming in. Ryan Tepera, he's got 3 1/3 innings. He's got a win on the season. 4 hits in those 3 1/3, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. But this is against the bottom of the order, and just trying to get 3 outs here. Porcello, he went 6 innings. He gave up 2 hits is all for Porcello. And 2 runs, both of them earned. Struck out 7 batters, and he walked 1. He only walked 1. So Porcello was pitching a gem, but Arizona went and got him for the righty Ryan Tepera. And get all your second your hindsight takes out now, because I don't know, that manager may be second guessed for taking him out. Here we go, Ryan Tepera against Jake Lamb here in the bottom of the 7th. Just had the stretch. The song is over, and it's a 4-4. This one's hit to the third baseman. That will be Logan Forsythe. Logan Forsythe is a 3-range third baseman, a 3.14. That's going to his error rating. He's an E10, so he's a good fielder. E10. We rolled a 5. He's a good fielder, but not this time. Logan Forsythe makes the diving stop, but throws it away. And Jake Lamb is aboard on an error. E5. And boy, what is going on with Arizona's defense? That's the 3rd error today on the defense for Arizona. So Jake Lamb is aboard, and he's a D stealer. Nolan Reimold, he is a D bunter. He's a D hit and runner too, so he's susceptible to that double play. But I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Reimold, maybe we could pinch hit for him. Austin Jackson could pinch hit and play left field. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to pinch hit with Austin Jackson. He's got better speed, and Reimold is 0 for 2 today. So they've got a quick hook here, and Nolan Reimold is out of the ball game. It will be Austin Jackson to pinch hit. He'll take over in left field as well. So playing a little strategy here. This is how the NL rules, they happen. Austin Jackson, it's a 1-6. A 1-6. This one's a grounder out to short, and the shortstop, Pennington, it's a shortstop B, so it's going to be the fielder's choice. So Lamb was off with the pitch. Austin Jackson can't get doubled up. It's a fielder's choice. So Jackson switches places with Lamb. And now there's one out. So maybe it was a good thing that we pinch hit because he stayed out of the double play. But now Jackson is aboard. And Henry Owens, will they? This is the same decision we had to make for Arizona. A man on, one out. And will they pinch hit for him? Chicago is going to go for a different strategy. They're not going to pinch hit. They're gonna take the different route and let Henry Owens bat here. They're gonna bunt. Henry Owens is a B bunter, so the infield is in. So he's gonna be a D bunter. So a D5 batter is thrown out by pitcher. Runners advance a base. So Henry Owens gets that one down, kills the ball out in front of the plate. The pitcher Tepera picks it up. Only play is out at first. And now there's two down. And Austin Jackson, with his speed, moves to second base. So Henry Owens gets the bunt down, and now there's a man in scoring position for Leonis Martin, who, as I said, hit a home run in the first. Hasn't done anything since, but here he is against Tepera. It's a 2-11. A 2-11. This one's out to first base. Goldschmidt makes a nice sliding grab, tosses it over to first, where Tepera is covering. And all that being said, that is a clean, scoreless inning. So the seventh is over, and it's a 2-2 ball game. Rick Porcello has been chased. Tepera gets through one inning with no runs, and Henry Owens now will continue. The manager for Chicago, showing some faith in him here, and it's the eighth inning now, 2-2. Henry Owens against Paul Goldschmidt. It's a 1-4, a 1-4. Oh no! Paul Goldschmidt pulls that one and yanks it over the wall, and this one is gone. A leadoff homer. Paul Goldschmidt coming up big. And Paul Goldschmidt takes Henry Owens and the manager's faith in him and throws it in the trash can and tosses it over the wall. So Henry Owens serves up a pitch to the first batter, Paul Goldschmidt. And here we are in the eighth. Arizona takes a 3-2 lead. And Brian Dozier now, a 4-2. That's a grounder to the first baseman. That would be Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer, whose jersey is clean so far up to this point. Let's see. Joe Mauer is a first base 3. A 3-6. That one's going to be an out. He gets down and dirty this time and makes the stop. Tosses it over to Owens. And that's the first out. So, yes, it's Alexi Ramirez. Steve was watching the other night, and he's referencing the other game, Alexi Ramirez. Yeah. Henry Owens against Logan Forsythe now with one out here in the eighth. It's a 2-3, a 2-3. This one's hit out to second. That's Urshela again. Urshela has come in, and even though he isn't carded for second base, has made 3 or 4 plays, and he's playing well out in the infield. Michael Kadire now with 2 outs. It's a 5-8. A 5-8. This one's out to Urshela, and as soon as I say that, look, Urshela, it's a next chance. And so Urshela is not carded for second base. So let's see how bad this is going to be. So he's a 5, and it's an 8. So it's going to his error rating. Unfortunately, that's not going to be much better. It's a 4. We rolled a 4. And so he's an E41, a 4. That will be an error. So Urshela, I jinxed him, I think. I was just talking about how he's made a few plays out there, and he commits an error with 2 outs here. And Michael Kadire is aboard. Some sloppy defense from both teams, really. And it's a 3-2 ball game. 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Tyler Flowers is up to bat. Henry Owens is the man pitching. He's gone all 7 2/3 so far. and trying to get Flowers to get out of the inning, and he will do it. Flowers hits it hard, but right at the third baseman, Lamb, and that will be the third out. So the error doesn't hurt Owens. It's his own mistake. He left one hanging against Goldschmidt, and Arizona takes a 3-2 lead into the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Tepera. Ryan Tepera will come out to face Giovanni Urshela, the righty. They've got some lefties warming. They have Dan Jennings and Alex Torres warming up in the bullpen. And you got to figure that this is probably the last guy for Tepera here, with 5 straight lefties coming up. Another good one tonight. Here we are in the bottom of the 8th, a 1-run lead for Arizona against Chicago. And this is a 4-5. A 4-5. This one's hit out to center field. Urshela just got under that one. And that will be the first out. Sam Fold makes the play out in center. And like I said, you had to think that they were going to go get him, and they are. Dan Jennings will be the man up to the mound. Dan Jennings, the lefty, so with called to the bullpen here. Ryan Tepera did his job, kept him scoreless, and we will go to the bullpen. Tepera went an inning and a third. He didn't give up a hit, no runs. He didn't strike out anybody, and he didn't walk anybody. A lot of balls in play for him. And now Dan Jennings will be the man. And let's see, Dan Jennings for Arizona has pitched in 3 1/3. He's got to win. He's only given up 1 hit in those 3 1/3. No runs, 4 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. So Dan Jennings has been pretty sharp so far in limited duty. And here he is against the lefty Kyle Seager. Let's take a look at the bench for Chicago, just to see if we can break up some of these lefties we have in the lineup. We've got Mike Olt, Jason Castro, and Josh Flegley. So 2 catchers on the bench, and Mike Olt. So at some point, maybe we'll see Mike Olt. Maybe we should pinch hit for Brian McCann, but he's one of their better hitters. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see Kyle Seager here, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. The lefty against the lefty, and this one's hit pretty well. Kyle Seager gets a hold of it. Will it head to the gap? Yes, it will. That will be a double. Kyle Seager off the lefty, and he's standing on second base with a fist pump. And now they've got something going on. Can the bullpen hold on for Arizona? A 1-out double, and Brian McCann, who tripled in a run back in the 3rd inning. Can he do it again here? Dan Jennings, the lefty, pitches to him. It's a 2-7. 2-7. Well, he walks him. So he was a little bit careful with Brian McCann. He knows he's got some power in that bat, and he just loses him. So now you've got 2 on with only 1 out, and Eddie Rosario up to the plate. Eddie Rosario is playing right field today. He's 0 for 3 against the lefty here, Dan Jennings. The catcher, Tyler Flowers, goes out to the mound and says, "Hey, Dan, how about you throw some strikes here?" With 1 out, Eddie Rosario sees the pitch. It's a 5-7, and Dan Jennings walks Rosario. Oh, man. So Dan Jennings promptly comes in as a lefty specialist and just goes ahead and loads the bases up. So you've got Joe Mauer now, another lefty up to bat. And they're going to have to go get Dan Jennings. They've got another lefty already warm, so they're going to go get him. And that's Alex Torres. So Dan Jennings disappoints. And Arizona has seen this story in other games, and they're not happy about it. The bullpen has blown it quite a few times in other games, and Arizona's got the quick hook. They took out Porcello, and now they're taking out Jennings. So Jennings comes in. He doesn't get an out. He gave up a hit, and he walked 2 batters. And now we've got Alex Torres against Joe Mauer with 1 out. They've got he's a 1-13 runner. They've got the infield. They're going to bring the infield in. I want to play the infield back just to get the double play. But will we do that? Oh, you know what? They're gonna try and get a double play. They're gonna have the infield back. They think they can double up Joe Mauer here, and they're gonna go for it. So infield's back. Here we go. It's a 3-8, a 3-8, and Alex Torres comes in and quickly strikes out Joe Mauer. That is a big-time strikeout. And now there's 2 down. 2 down, and Mike Lamb is the batter. Or, excuse me, Jake Lamb. And now, will we get Mike Olt, the righty, with another righty Jackson behind him? They're gonna get Mike Olt. Mike Olt will be the pinch hitter for Jake Lamb, and he'll take over for third. So Mike Olt will pinch hit. And even though they know that they'll probably go get another pitcher, knowing that Torres is the last lefty in the bullpen is enough to have them go and waste it. So Olt comes in, and they are going to go to the bullpen again, and that will be Sam Dyson. So Sam Dyson will will be the new pitcher. The new pitcher, excuse me, got too many things going on in my head. He's a righty, and he's been sharp this season. So Torres comes in. He gets the 1 batter he faces on a strikeout. The bases are loaded here. Mike Olt pinch hitting for Jake Lamb. He'll take over at third also after this inning. And a righty-on-righty matchup now. Lots of moving parts here in this inning. It's a 4-5. Oh, boy. Mike Olt gets a hold of this one. It could go to the wall. It's a double. 2 stars. Mike Olt coming up big off a pinch hit. Mike Olt, 1 run will score. McCann home from second. Eddie Rosario's getting the stop sign at third. And Mike Olt, the pinch hit double. Pinch hit 2-run double. And this one has flipped scores again. It's now a 4-3 ball game. So the Arizona bullpen blows it. And Chicago battles back and takes a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Hello, Al Red Sox fan, and welcome. You've come into the middle of a good game here. Chicago just took the lead back from Arizona here in the bottom of the 8th. Arizona scored 1 in the top half, and now Chicago answers back with a 2-run pinch hit double from Mike Olt. And it's a 4 ball game. Only 2 down, and Olt still at second. Can Austin Jackson bring him home? It's a 4-5, a 4-5 again. It's a 4-5 again. So Austin Jackson hits it in the same spot, and the same spot happens again. Another double. So back-to-back doubles off of Sam Dyson. And all of those batters that Jennings walked come back to haunt him. It's another 2-run double. And this one is blown open here. Austin Jackson with the 2-run double. And now it's a 6-3 ball game. A 6-3 ball game, and guess who's up to bat? That's Henry Owens. They're not going to bat him. He's not going to bat this time. They're going to pinch hit for him. And it'll be Jason Castro as the pinch hitter. Jason Castro is the lefty catcher. And Henry Owens' day is done. He pitched 8 solid innings. And the bullpen blows it for Arizona here. And maybe will Henry Owens get a win again? And this is a 4-7. A 4-7. This could be a single. 1-14. It's a single. It is. It's a single 1 star. And so Jason Castro with a single. Jackson moves to third. And Sam Dyson has faced three batters here and has given up 3 hits. And he has reached his pitcher inning of weakness. Oh, man. Leonys Martin now. With this one being pretty much blown out, they're going to let Sam Dyson just keep going here. They've got pretty much, they don't have a whole lot left in their bullpen. So, Sam Dyson against Martin. It's a 2-10. A 2-10. This one could be a single. A 1-15. It's a single. And a single. A 1-star single. So, Leonys Martin has himself an RBI. Oh, boy. Well, I guess they are going to have to go get Dyson now. It's it's a 7-3 ball game. Men on first and second. Giovanni Urshela is up to bat. Maybe they'll let him get Urshela and then they'll go. No, they don't have another lefty. Huh. Okay. Well, since they don't have any more lefties, they've got to go to the bullpen. And this one is looking like it is all but said and done, unless Arizona has one more big comeback in the 9th. Ryan Matheus will be the new pitcher. And Sam Dyson faced 4 batters and gave up 4 hits. That's not what you would want out of the bullpen. And he's been pretty solid. So this will close the book on some pitchers. Let's do some housekeeping here. Jennings, he gave up 3 runs, all of them earned. Torres, he didn't give up a run. No hits, no earned runs. Dyson didn't pitch an inning, didn't get an out. He gives up 4 hits, 2 runs so far, no strikeouts, no walks. And now Ryan Matheus, the righty, will come up here. Ryan Matheus, and yes, as I'm looking at the chat, Al, I watched part of his boxing match he had tonight. You should go check out his channel, Al Red Sox fan. That was Rocky Marciano against, I can't remember who the other guy was, but he had a rough day against Rocky Marciano. I don't want to spoil it, but you should go check that out. While I'm looking at Ryan Matheus' numbers, he's got 4 innings pitched so far, no record, 5 hits, and an earned run. So now he pitches against Giovanni Urshela with a man on first and second. Still only 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 2-6, and Ryan Matheus, thankfully, mercifully, strikes out Urshela. And that will do it here for the bottom of the 8th. But what a bottom of the 8th. 5 runs scored in the bottom of the 8th. And we move to the 9th inning. Henry Owens high-fiving every single one of his teammates in the dugout. Good gosh. Dyson, throw gas on it, says Steve. Yeah, man. That was ugly. And let's say Sam Dyson, listen to his numbers. He's pitched 6 1/3 innings so far this season. So basically a start. 4 hits, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. That's why I brought him in that spot. but all of a sudden just throwing gas on the fire. And now, with a 7-3 lead, Chicago is going to go to Scott Oberg. Scott Oberg will be the man against the 7, 8, 9 batters. So Henry Owens goes 8. Didn't expect that one. Henry Owens outduels Rick Porcello. They had a quick trigger on Porcello. He had only a 2-hitter going. But Henry Owens goes 8 and now gives way to Scott Oberg. Henry went 8. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 4 hits, and 2 of those were home runs. 3 runs, all 3 earned. He struck out 7 batters. And he walked 1, 2, 3, 4. No, let's check that. 1, 2. He walked 3. So not a bad line. 8 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So Oberg, here he goes. Against Sam Fuld, the lefty. It's a 5-10. A 5-10. This one's out to the shortstop. That will be Kyle Seager. Kyle Seager is a 4-range shortstop, a 4-16. That will be a good play. Seager from the outfield grass with a strong throw. And there's the first out of the top of the 9th. So Arizona, with a beleaguered look on their faces, can't believe what just happened. And do you blame them? My goodness. It all fell apart. That bullpen choked it. And Cliff Pennington, the switch-hitting shortstop, who's 0 for 2 with a walk today. And there's another walk for Cliff Pennington. So they just need guys on base, and Pennington knows that. And he's aboard. And they will pinch hit now. The pitcher spot is up, and it will be Clint Robinson. Clint Robinson will pinch hit. The lefty. And with 1 out, and Scott Oberg, the batter, or the pitcher. This is a fly ball out to right field. That is, who is that? That is Rosario. And he makes the catch. And now there's 2 quickly down here. Man on first, Gregor Blanco, who's done some damage. He's plated 2 of the, well, he is responsible for 2 of the 3 runs scored by Arizona. And here he is against Scott Oberg. It's a 4-5. A 4-5. This one's hit weakly out to second base. And wouldn't you know it, that's Urshela out there. And he makes a nice strong throw. And this game is over. So, Arizona blows the 8th inning. That is the combination of Dan Jennings walking the bases loaded. Well, gave up a double and then walked the bases loaded. And Sam Dyson, who just blew gas on the fire. And that combination leads to a Henry Owens victory. This ball game is over. It's a 7-3 ball game. And this was a fun one. It was a close game, a pitcher's duel, you could say, at the beginning. And Steve and both of us, all of us, laughed at Henry Owens, the Boston farmhand. We didn't think he was going to do this tonight, but he pitched well for 8 innings, and he gets the victory. Outdueling Rick Porcello. Scott Oberg won an inning. He didn't give up any hits, no runs, no earned runs, no strikeouts. He did walk a man. So let's do some housekeeping here before we get some totals. Dyson, he gave up 2 runs. Probably should have been more. Matthias pitched a third of the inning. He didn't give up a hit. He struck out a batter, and that's all. So the loss, the loss will go to Jennings, and well deserved. He he blew that one. So Henry Owens will move to 2-1 on the season. And Dan Jennings, let me check his record here. Jennings, he'll move to 1-1. He has a victory on the season. No save today. And while I'm getting these stats together, I just want to say thank you. This was an active and lively stream. You guys have been great. I think at one point, I saw the most people I've ever seen watching one of these lives, and I can't appreciate you guys, or I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, and share. Thank you. And let's go over some of these here real quick. Hits, Arizona got one. Actually, let me look up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 4 hits is all for Arizona. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors. That is an ugly line there. 3, 4, 3. And Chicago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits for 7 runs on 7 hits for Chicago, and they committed 2 errors. So this one is a final. This is the beginning of game day 14. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. The project I've got going, the randomization, has provided to be pretty fun, better than I thought it was going to be. And we've gotten some good games like this one, and some bullpens blowing it. So that'll be it for me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back again tomorrow for another game. Until then, I'm Craig. Follow me on Twitter at RNGIDP_Strat. And I want to say thanks to Al Red Sox fan, Ken Castro, Steve R0, Higher Ground Gaming, everybody else that was watching live. Appreciate you guys being here, and see you tonight. Good night.